recession-proof customers as well. Now, from a
Yep.
marketing standpoint, there's a couple of things that we do to attract more of those. But do you have any input on what you can do to try to shift from not so much focus on the bottom, but focus on the top to make sure you're only attracting these high-end clients?
Change your experience, especially now. As going into a recession, your value has to be through the roof.
Editing the video now, just wanted to hop on really quick and say, if you're watching this, thank you so much, Jonathan. This has been immensely helpful for all the details that are going to be watching this. And it's a little bit longer, but it's full of a lot of information, and I hope you enjoy. So we'll start. Most people from here know me just because I've been posting this on my channels, but for those who don't know who you are, you can give a brief introduction on what you kind of, I don't want to say bring to the table, but what kind of your backstory really quick.
I am the biggest detail hack out there. No, just kidding. I own and operate Dirty to Dreamy Detail Services, but also Certified Professional Detailers, also known as the Organization of Certified Professional Detailers. We've been in business for almost 7 years now, and this year should be our first $1 million year. We got a team of 7 people. We do paint correction, PPF, high-end stuff, fender rolling, just all sorts of crazy stuff. Basically trying to give the best experience we can to the clients and do whatever we can when we have the car. And I love automotive. I love automotive and I love business. So that's just pretty much me in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm. And you also run CPD and part of Detail Mentor as well, which are, I guess you can say organizations to help detailers level up their role. I hate using the word level up because there's no metric that, but try to help them increase their business as a whole rather than just a detail inside everything, right?
Absolutely. That's like my passion. To be honest with you, I didn't really want to scale Dirty to Dreamy, but I really love helping people. And I notice the bigger the business gets, the more people I can help. And honestly, I hate that this happens, but the ego of the industry sees that we're making money. And now suddenly I'm trustworthy because we're making money. So with that comes the ability to help more people. So I scaled it pretty fast. When I hurt my back, I was pretty much bedridden for like a month, and I hired my first guy, and I was like, you know what, screw it, we can do this. Scale it out of the canopy at home, moved into a shop. A year later, moved into a bigger shop, and within 3 years of that, we're now going to do our first $1 million year. So things are going good. I can't complain, but my favorite part, absolute favorite part, is helping others, which is why we're on this call.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Same thing here where I got my background in detail and I started detailing business. We started mobile, moved to the shop a couple of years ago, but I started back in 2015 and went into college and then kind of fell in love with marketing. I started as a physicist for a while and I fell in love with marketing, the whole aspect of that, and then kind of transitioned from physicist to a marketing nerd who had a background in detailing. Now here I am with everything. So
physicist, huh? I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, fun fact about me, I was physicist for a while.
Huh.
I don't know what direction I was going. I was just blowing in the wind. That was my interest and direction at the time. And I thought that was my calling, but it appears not.
Kept failing the tests.
Yeah, pretty much, honestly. Yeah, so that's a brief introduction about everything. In full transparency, I've been working with Jonathan for over the past year doing the marketing, Facebook, as more specifically with everything. We do have a lot of automations, a lot of cool things come up with everything. But Jonathan has been a big part of our success too at our agency on helping give little tips, tricks here. And he's a really good business mind to pay attention to. So I would encourage you guys to go ahead. Oh, got one other one. Cool. So I encourage you guys to go follow him if you're not already with everything. To start with our introduction, where do we think we're heading? Where are we heading in the recession? Do you think we're at the bottom? Do you think it's going to get worse?
So that's a complicated question because we're in unprecedented times. And that's what makes this so intriguing to me, because you know me, I'm a goof when it comes to business. And when you look at a recession, there's certain power moves that you make in a recession to capture the market, because a lot of people are backing off during a recession because they're worried and scared. And we all know fear is what holds us back from expanding all the time. But this is not your typical recession. It's a recession that's been fueled by poor policy. You know, the money that we printed during COVID has created a 9% plus inflation rate. And people aren't getting a 10% raise just because inflation. So you've got your middle class that may have been typically shopping with us that are now asking more questions. So Are we at the bottom of it? I don't know. I don't know. We just got to keep paying attention to the inflation rates and your overall. Like you got to watch copper. Copper and oil are two pretty good indicators that a recession's coming. And then your GDP for the country. You know, if you got 2 quarters in a row where your GDP gets lower or decreases, we know the loom and gloom is here. And there's certain moves that you want to take when you start to see that stuff. And right now, copper's in the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Oil's completely tanked. I was up. I had 200 300 shares of oil, and I was up like $3,600 3 weeks ago. I'm now down $1,100. Oil went from 69 bucks a share down to 32 bucks a share. Copper followed in suit. And shortly after that, my fiance's father got laid off. He's in construction. And then we started doing some research, and we're just looking at a lot of construction workers and your people that are in what do you call them?
Blue collar
I can't remember.
industries.
Yeah, what do you call it when they have like a board and they strike, and what the hell? I'm such an idiot right now.
I think I'm making me blank too on this one.
Electricians have them, Boeing has them. I can't remember, but they have a board and everything, and they lay people off, but they pay them.
They're unions.
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 There you
Okay.
go.
Thank you.
He's like, these guys are idiots. I'm getting off this soon. But a lot of the unions are laying off folks and the newer techs, and it's happening across the country. So
Mm-hmm.
where are we at and where's it going? That is completely unknown right now, but we do know it's going downward, and that's what we need to plan for.
Yeah, I mean, by technical definition, like I said, 2 straight quarters of GDP decline. We hit that. So by technical definition, we're in one. How far we're going, we don't know. You can listen to anyone you want. Someone's going to tell you something completely different. But even being in the tech industry, we've seen a lot of Facebook too, or Meta now. They're laying off a lot of employees. Same thing with Google. So I do think we're not at the bottom yet. We are trending in that direction. How bad it's going to go, no one's really going to know. But I'm no economy expert by any means, but we're trying to see and react how things play out.
Well, and the cool part about what I do with helping other detailers is when stuff starts to hit the fan, I get a lot of messages. And that tells me it's kind of like my indicators. So for those of you that don't help other detailers, that don't like to connect, you see them as competition, you like to argue with them, you're really missing out on good key information, because when they start to struggle, they're going to reach out to their friends. And when they do that, I mean, obviously I'm here to help, but there's certain people, like I had somebody message me just last night. I was like, hey, I've noticed like everything dropping off. I'm not getting any calls. I'm not getting any work. Rent's due and I don't have any money, yada, yada, yada. Still hasn't gotten his business license. He came out to visit me 2 years ago. I showed him how to detail, showed him how to do paint correction. I gave him an extractor, a $1,700 machine, because he has a kid and I wanted him to make money to feed his family. And I told him the first thing you do when you get home is take the money you were going to give me for this extractor, because he's going to give me some money. And I said, you get a business license and you start taking this serious. 2 years later, he still hasn't spent the $75 to get a business license. That is the person that is our problem in the industry. The person that will not create a legal business. The person is in their car doing mobile detail, pulling up in their Toyota Corolla that's all rusty, doesn't take the business serious, and it hurts us. It hurts our industry, because there's these low flyers that will do $150 or $300 correction work, which doesn't make any sense, and it's never quality. That is the person that's dying right now. They're reaching out constantly. They're asking questions. They're trying to figure out, like, what do I do? It's really going to reset our industry. That's what recessions always do. Those guys that you're constantly complaining about, they're going to fail. They don't have the money put aside, and they don't have the structures to get through a recession. Therein lies the opening that we have. And it's kind of dark to talk about, but let's be honest, we're business owners. And sometimes as a business owner, you have to be a shark. And during a recession, that is when you become a shark.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're the business, like you track the clients of who you are. So if you're a bottom of the barrel business, you're gonna be tracking bottom of the barrel customers. And those are people, especially in recession, those bottom of the barrel customers, those are people who are gonna slam on the brakes when recession hits and try to count all their pennies and hold on anything they have. So you make sure that your stuff, you have to just level up yourself and make sure you're in the right mindset with everything. fear never protects you from the things you're afraid of. I don't want anyone to make decisions based off fear. Those are very short-term decisions that only hurt your long-term growth with everything.
Amen to that.
Mm-hmm. So it kind of brings us to the next point I want to bring up, is like the different customer segments that are. So like for shops that are kind of, they have good cash flow, they have employees, they have a shop, they're doing well, we're really not going to be too much affected by recession. Their business is going to go down just a little bit. Maybe the little sales, they're going to have some hard time converting some sales here and there. But there's going to be different customer segments and ways to track, because like you have the bottom barrel customers that we talked about, right? And there's also some recession.
We're already talking as a team, because we're not seeing a lull. Last month I did $87,600. This month we're trending towards 76,000, but we typically increase based off of what's on schedule. So I don't foresee us doing under 80,000 this month either. I'm already booking out August, but I upped my marketing 4 weeks ago. You know that. We increased it by what, 30%, another $1,500 a month. I upped my Google and everything. So we've taken some of those steps, but when it comes to attracting these customers they're value driven, when it comes to somebody that has money, they're looking for the person that's going to give them the best bang for their buck, and they don't care if they have to spend for it. So you can position yourself mid-tier, top tier, low tier based off of what you can afford to do. In our shop, we've got a lot of money that comes through the shop, so we can create an experience that nobody else can create. We can pick up the cars, we can drop them off, we can have stuff that we give them for free, like towels, micros, shampoos that's included in services. We do wheel off detail, where we're taking a little bit extra time. It's costing us some labor, where we pull the wheels and we actually coat calipers, steering, and suspension. So we've done a lot of things that separate ourselves completely from the market. We also have added values like a free chiropractor adjustment, a free bottle of wine. We've got care kits that we give out. We've got handouts that we give out. We're branded like crazy. So these people see that stuff and they see an established business they can trust that's going to be there long term. And that's what these people are looking for. The guy that rolls up in the driveway, yes, you'll find people that have a lot of money that will support that person in that Toyota Corolla, but they're supporting that person in hopes that they will become a legitimate business. And I know this because that was us. I'm not trying to dog on the guy in the Toyota Corolla. You all know I started in a Ford Focus. And if you don't know that, then go to my page and look at the history of it. We went from a Ford Focus that I had to give back to the bank. We couldn't afford it. The transmission kept going in it. It was a 2017. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. So we gave that back in the bank, moved into a truck, and then moved into a van. So we were literally bottom of the barrel, and our customers actually giggled and laughed about our van and said it's the candy van. It's the creepy guy, but when the creepy guy shows up, you're getting a clean car. So they supported us to where we are. And what I noticed as we moved into a shop is all these people that were paying for these services as we were growing and didn't care about the price increases and continued to support us. Every time we would launch a new service, they would buy it. Those people started spending even more when we moved into a shop. And then I started asking questions, which is the most important thing you can do. If you all haven't read the book, The Pumpkin Plan, you totally should. That book is about targeting these clients. When they come in, you know who they are. Because they're spending money. The easiest way to know the clients that are going to spend are the clients that have the money to spend. They say yes to everything. And then when that happens, and we do this in our shop, I don't know if you all follow my pages and stuff, but we inspect every car. We have an actual inspection form. We follow up with every client, and we list off a few extra add-ons that we could do for them while their car's there. The person who buys those add-ons, our team knows we spoil that person. It does not matter what the add-on is. If they say yes to an extra $200, an extra $400, they're our target client. Spoil them. Go above and beyond more than you ever would on any car with that car. When they come in, give them a free towel, give them some shampoo, offer our maintenance program. Just make a red carpet experience. If anybody hasn't followed Airstream, that's a really great synopsis of what we're talking about. Airstream targets top tier clients. When you pick up your Airstream, there's a red carpet. There's a plaque next to the Airstream that has your name on it. Welcome to your new experience. Welcome to the family of Airstreams. And then there's another plaque that has your certified Airstream owner, which is all BS. I mean, let's be honest. Who gives a crap if they're a certified Airstream owner? But it's an experience. They walk down that red carpet and they're like, yeah, I feel good about spending that $100,000, which brings us to what you don't want to do create buyer's regret. When somebody comes in, they're happy with the service. Maybe you did a phenomenal correction. Maybe you coded it and it looks absolutely beautiful, but they pay you money and you didn't say thank you. You didn't have any conversation with them. You pretty much just kicked them out of your store. It was like, hey, thanks, have a good day. That creates buyer's regret. You know, people want to be engaged nowadays. And it's more so nowadays than it was even 10 years ago because of social media. There's so much fake going on. You know, I can say thank you on social media all day long and it means absolutely nothing. But in person, when I genuinely shake your hand and say, I really appreciate you, it's you that keeps this going. And it's you that's caused this to grow where it is and allow us to impact more people. That's what they target. That's what they love. I've got several people that are like, I want to give you $250,000. Let's open another store. And I'm like, calm down. We need to find property first and then we'll expand. But we also need the team to be dialed in. They're working by themselves for the first time. And we're going on like 3 months now and they're starting to get the hang of it. Once they get the hang of it, then we'll open another store. But those people have come from 6 years of cultivating them with principles from that book, The Pumpkin Plan. So spoil them is basically the point.
Yeah. And then heading into recession, one of the big marketing tactics that I want to praise is, spoil them during that time too, because I want to get to the whole ad spend, the whole investment in marketing thing in a moment. But the part I want to continue on here is if someone's already in your shop, you already acquired them, right? So the best way to get more business is from that. Of course, not a value, but by providing the value, you're going to be able to get some referrals from that person themselves. They're going to be amazed at what you do. They're going to tell their fiance, their wife, their husbands, their uncle, their cat, everyone about it, that kind of experience. And these are free, I'm going to say free marketing things you can do. These are free leads for you. And they're like always high converting. Like we always say, referrals and word of mouth, like being a marketer, it's still the best form of advertising that there is.
Yep. Every customer that comes through should be getting a minimum of 3 business cards. It's one of the biggest mistakes a detailer makes is they give 1 business card and that business card ends up lost. You give them 3 cards and they go, well, why do I need 3? Well, because you absolutely love this service. So somebody's going to say, that car looks amazing. Who did it? You hand that business card to that person. Inevitably, you're going to lose one of these. And then the third one is for your second referral. Every referral you give us, we're going to give you a free wash or a free service of some sort, or even a free product. It's up to you. But we really appreciate your referrals. And if you're truly happy with the service, we would love to help some of your friends and family. Absolutely it should be a SOP in your business. Everyone gets 3 business cards and you give every person that spiel. You have to tell them why you're giving them multiple cards. And referrals are huge. We have, I don't know if you know about our maintenance program. I don't know if we've ever talked about it, but there's 50 people on that maintenance program now and they come in monthly. They pay annual for the service and they're coming in every month. So they're either booking an appointment, just had an appointment, or thinking about booking an appointment. So we're literally on their minds all the time. So if anything car comes up, we're getting referrals. That program is easily what keeps my business busy. I have 2 or 3 clients on that program that have all spent over 20 grand and they've referred easily over $100,000 each in the last 4 years. So
absolutely. Yeah, those are really good points that are like kind of free ways to get more clients and attract those higher end clients. Now back on the flip side of everything, when it comes to paid marketing, it doesn't matter medium, whether it's Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, whatever it may be, this is the time to go all in completely during recession, because I crudely outlined this in the YouTube video I made about it. But essentially, let's say you're in a market with it's yourself and 2 other detailers in your area. So let's say you're all 3 of you doing $1,000 per month and paid advertising, whatever it may be. Recession hits, everyone's first instinct is to cut costs. For some reason, everyone likes to think marketing is more expense rather than a production cost. It's not built into their systems. So let's say the 2 other detailers in your area cut their marketing expenses. So they're not paying anything anymore. Now that market share is there for you to take. If you go all in, since they're advertising, all the space is for you to have, right?
100%. And that's what we did. I mean, we increased our market as soon as I felt the loom and doom of a recession, which, I do everything by data. Anybody who follows me knows I do data like crazy. I have more spreadsheets than probably our accountant does. And all of that data leads me to make decisions within my business. Because I'm an emotional guy. I mean, you've seen me cry on video. You've seen me cry in person. Like I'm an emotional person. So if I make decisions in my business on emotion, we'd already be closed. I make all my decisions based on data, and sometimes they're not easy decisions to make. When you look at a loom and doom of a recession coming, you're like, all right, let's double marketing. That could be a scary decision, but I know that the end result of that decision is I'm going to capture more of the market because everybody's pulling back right now. And when people are pulling back and you're out there, it creates confidence in the client that's seeing the ad. You know, I have clients that come in all the time. They're like, I don't know what you do with your marketing, but I see you everywhere. You're on my Instagram, you're on my Facebook, you're on my YouTube. I'm like, that's my job. My job is to be in front of your face all the time, and that's why you're here, is it not? Well, yeah, that and your customer service. So it's all going to work together. But marketing, it's not an expense. It's a must-have. You know, like I said, there's a lot of people messaging me right now, and the folks that aren't busy, they're like, first question I ask, what's your marketing plan right now? Well, I don't pay for marketing. Cool. Close your business. That's what's going to happen in this recession. If you're not paying for marketing during recession, you're going to close. But I will say this, just like stocks, like if Bitcoin right now was $1, how many of us would buy it? All of us. We'd all in. We would, whatever money we have aside, we go counter change at home if we had to, because it's $1 and it's been upwards of $60,000. That could be a great investment. That's the same thing happening right now in all service-based industries. People are pulling back, money's dropping. You go all in. Even if you take a loss this year, I promise you in the next 3 to 5 years, you're going to be like, I'm so glad that I did that. You will be a millionaire. If you make your moves during recession, you absolutely can move towards becoming a millionaire.
All these smart businessmen or people with good money, when recession hits, they all start to salivate. All these prices are low. Like, I'm going to start buying in more stocks, of course. Everything's on discount right now, marketing, stocks, whatever it may be. If you're not spending during a recession and investing in your business, you're going to be behind when that recovery starts to happen. You know, on the marketing side, you know, the CPMs, which is cost per 1,000 impressions, that's down too because there's more space available online itself. But like I said, part of the marketing too is just investing in market share itself. It's all cheap because other people are laying down. There are probably millions and millions of case studies out there published by doctors, published by all these marketing experts about what happens to companies that invest during a recession and those come back. There's a good story that I like to share all the time. One is about during the Great Depression. It was Ford and I think it was Ford, Camel, the cigarette company, and Chevy. Where I'm getting with that is, so during when the Great Depression hit, it was Ford and Camel both cut their advertising budgets. Chevy went all in, and I think it was Chesterfield and Lucky Strike, or two other cigarette companies that both invested into the market during recession. Now, when those times when the Great Depression lifted, Chevy was now the #1 car dealer or the car manufacturer in America. Lucky Strike and Chesterfield are #1 cigarette manufacturer companies. So there's a million case studies. I encourage everyone to look up. There's things about Campbell's Soup. There's things about Coca-Cola. When the recession hits, all these companies have double and triple their profits while people are still trying to play catch up.
Well, and to add to that, think about what you're doing when you market during a recession. You should be thinking about this in general all the time. You're not selling a ceramic coating. You're not selling paint protection film. You're not selling tint. I know you think you are. You're selling one of 3 things. You're selling security. Person feels more comfortable, their car's protected, or the car's taken care of by somebody else. You're selling them their time back. And that's where we lose the value on pricing a lot. People ask, how much should I charge? Well, I don't know. What's your clientele? What's your target client? Because if your target client is lawyers and doctors, they get paid $200, $300, $400 an hour. So if you can save them 4 hours of time, they're willing to pay $1,200 for something like that. So you got to take that into mind. And then the third thing is emotion and feel. I've built a lot of my business on this. Our script is 5 minutes long. Literally, it's 5 questions. We close 10 to 15% of all leads that come in initially, and then in 6 months, we close upwards of 35%. We are selling to the emotional brain. It's the fight or flight brain. I like to keep it simple. Until I meet you in person, I have no interest in talking to your mammalian brain or your neocortex. I am not talking to the neocortex via text. And for those of you that don't know what that means, that's the person that says, how much SiO2 is in your coating? I'm not doing that via text. Come into the shop. I'll tell you everything I know about the expert that I am. So in a recession, that third piece is what we're marketing to. They want to feel like everything is okay. Those people that have money that are seeing, like right now, I've lost $7,000 in the past 4 weeks. in stocks. It's still in there, and it's not. I'm not worried about it because it's going to go back up in a couple of years. But when you look at investments and how people use their investments to leverage money so that they can pull more money, rich people don't use their own money to do things. They borrow money and they expand. They have to cut back on certain things, and they feel that gloom and doom of the recession. That doesn't mean they're broke and not going to spend money. But when you can target and create a feeling of safety, you're a world above everybody else, and they're going to come in, they're going to have a great experience. They're seeing a company expand during a depression or recession, and they're like, damn, this is amazing, I love this guy. And that's what we're creating. The last 3 months have been very weird.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had a meeting with my manager yesterday, and was like, hey, I'm taking over sales for like 2 weeks. I just want to ask some weird questions to some of our clients to find out why they picked us, why they messaged us. And even some of the clients that say no, I want to find out why they're saying no, so I can redevelop the script, because we're heading into a pretty deep recession. And I want to make sure we're talking to the right part of the brain as people are changing, because people are changing during a recession. They don't think the same. Target that emotional experience, make them happy, make them feel comfortable, make them feel like the world isn't about to end, unlike what the news is doing right now. And
Yeah.
you've got a client for life.
Yeah. I mean, part of the video too is make people feel safe and secure about something that happened. Like, if you just Google the S&P 500, don't look at the past couple months, zoom out, look over the past 30 years.
Yeah.
Times will get better. There's no reason to be scared and be fearful about everything. Times will go back up. So that's why investing in stocks and investing in marketing, whatever it may be in your business, when top prices are low, it's just time to do it.
I just bought 60 more shares of oil.
Yeah, there you go. See, exactly.
It's
It's
$32.
Yeah, it's everything on discount right now. Literally everything.
It's like half off.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the time to do it. And just from like another like marketing standpoint, even if it's just $10 a day, throw in some Facebook ads. Like, like what we do, 90% of our ads go for leads directly. We only run a few brand awareness or video views or just kind of those general campaigns. Anything like that will really help. You can run some brand awareness campaigns and just be on top of people's minds for the next couple of months or however long
Yep.
the recession is. That way, if these people who are holding back, or because detailing is arguably a luxury expense for most people, it's not something that's be like a real necessity to sort of say. But like I'm trying to find a way to better explain it, but you don't have to necessarily go for ads or leads. Sorry. So if you're running ads for leads, if you're not getting 50, 60, 70 leads a month, that's fine. You don't have to go for them. Just be on top of their mind of what you're running brand awareness ads pretty much.
It's perpetual. It's 100% perpetual. I mean, if you look at just what we've done in a year, and I can't even imagine where we're going to be at next year, but we're producing over 200 leads a month. And that's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that is brand awareness campaigns. One of the reasons why Hunters loves me is because I love to spend money on marketing. So I'll spend money. I don't care if it's $1,000 a month on just a brand awareness campaign, because I'm trying to grow the awareness across the state, so that when we open store 2, 3, 4, and 5, people already know where we are, who we are, and what we've been doing. And then they're like, okay, cool. Finally, they open a store around me, and boom, the store is busy. And I know these things work because I did it. I'm in my comfort zone. What I did the last 5 years was uncomfortable. I've never done it before. I never grew my own business. I grew other people's businesses, but when you're writing checks with somebody else's checkbook, it's really easy.
Mm-hmm.
When you write it with your own, there's that human aspect of it where there's the fear and the, oh gosh, that was $10,000. The new store, 100 grand.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my money. So when we look at that, it's like, we've got to get past the fear of it and then just get it out there. So, I mean, I have no idea why I started saying what I was saying, but I absolutely agree with what you're saying when it comes to marketing and brand awareness. In times of recession, that's almost your best form of marketing, because people are on edge. Having somebody batter them with an ad to buy is not the answer. Putting out 3 or 4 ads that retarget people, which is something me and Hunter do all the time. We'll put an educational ad, and then we'll put another educational ad, and then the last ad they see will be an ad for the service. Yeah. So that people know, I've added value to your life. I've told you this is how you do it, or this is who we are. Then I've told you this is what our team does. And then I've said, why don't you try it out for $150 off? And special offers are also huge too during recessions. People are looking for that added value. And sometimes that added value is $50 off. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to my manager, and the problem with staff is they want black and white, right? So they want the systems and operations. They work best off of knowing exactly what they're supposed to do. And creating free thinkers is the hard part. So scaling out of one store, I have to have a free thinker that's in charge, at least one in the store.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't know if I should give this discount. Like when somebody's spending $4,000 and wants $250 off, whatever. It's $250. If it costs me an average $150 to get a lead that's going to buy, that person came through, they've already cost me about $100. Let's just give them the 250 off. They're spending $4,000. And this particular story was a scenario. This guy had two vehicles booked, and he brought them in. We do an inspection. The car was trashed. We're like, hey, this needs a two-step correction. Two-step correction's $800. One-step correction $650. It's up to you. Do you want the car to look absolutely pristine, or you just want it to look better? And the guy's like, well, I've got a second car scheduled with you. You can do that two-step correction for the $650, then I'll go for it. And the manager calls me and he's like, what do you think? I said, why don't you just play a little game with me for a minute? Let's tell him $750. So he tells him $750, and the guy replies back, okay, well, let's do the two-step correction, but take my second vehicle off the schedule. And we're like, this guy's playing the power move with negotiation. So we went ahead and dropped it down to $650. Second car comes in. What did we recommend? A two-step paint correction and interior coating. So between those two cars, even with the $250 discount, we have a net profit of over 30% after all expenses and $9,000 worth of service in two vehicles. Stop being so stingy with the customers that you shouldn't be stingy with. Now, if somebody comes in and tries to beat you up right off the bat, screw those people. We're just having a sales conversation. You're like, one of the best deals that you have. We don't have deals. I'm booking out August right now. Why would I give a deal? That's not your target client, but you've already acquired it. They've paid the deposit. They've stopped in, and you've added additional services, and they want a deal. Toss a guy a bone. That's the way I feel about it anyway.
Yeah, that's the philosophy of having marketing part of your production costs. When you get into that mindset, everything gets instantly easier. And it's just like I said, like building production costs, and then it's like you can also have customers pay for your marketing that way too when you're in the same mindset. If someone comes in, you're paying for the next person. They're paying for the next person to acquire them. So if it's $100 a person, it keeps going on that way.
Well, and if you think about it too, that the more I pay to acquire this person, the better person it is, the more targeted they are, which is what we do with our retargeting. I mean, I would say what would you say? Like 80% of the people that see the first video never get to the third video because they don't watch long enough.
Yep.
So by the time they get to that third, I'm paying $75, $100 for that lead. I want to be above that. I want to be 150, 200, because I know when that person comes in, they're the right target. And I have systems in place to make that person send their friends. And that's where the money is. It's in the free stuff. And we get the free stuff by impressing the stuff that we paid for. Well, we got to make sure it's the right target. So if you don't know who your target client is, you've already failed, especially in a recession. You got to know where the money is. Can you target the bottom? Yeah, there's just like there's segments in the market when it comes to marketing, there's segments in the market when it comes to detail. There's express, there's production, there's high end. Express detail will never die. It is recession proof, just like car repair. You look at businesses like Firestone. Firestone made its biggest expansion during 2008. 2008, 2009, 2010. They learned through the last recession that they are recession proof, because when recessions hit, people take care of what they own because they want it to look nice, because they may not be able to buy another one. So detailing really is recession proof. Ceramic coating, paint protection film, maybe not. You got to target your top clients to keep that momentum going. But when it comes to the lower level services, you will never not have business. There will always be people willing to pay for that stuff. And in making profitability, there is all about efficiency and targeting the right cars. You don't want to bring in a bunch of trash, but there will be, $159 for an inside outside detail. Being able to do that in 2 hours, that's not bad at all. And that will keep your business going. Then you take that money and you invest it in marketing.
Yeah.
You just wash it.
It's a big part of that too, is I'm going back to the whole brand awareness stuff is like when Coca-Cola runs ads on TV, do you think they're trying to get people to run out to the store and grab a case of Coca-Cola? No, they just want people on top of mind. So if they're in that space in a store, they see, oh, Coke or Pepsi. Oh, I haven't seen a lot of Coke, so I want to go with them. It's those kind of things. So that ad itself is not going directly for leads. It's just going back the whole entire funnel, like we talked about, the retargeting down the funnel, and then maybe the cost per lead is a little bit higher, but that's not exactly what we're going for. We're going kind of over quality over quantity kind of thing.
Yep. And when you think about what you just said too, it reigns true for one reason: branding. If you don't have a solid brand and brand awareness with your business, you're missing out on a lot of leads that will come through just because of your brand. When you put out an ad and people go, I know that, now all of a sudden you're trusted. And that's why people will click the button and give you their name, their email address, their phone number, this sellable material that a customer has. You know, when they give you their address and this information, birth dates. Birth dates are a great thing to gather to send out cards and stuff. But you're not going to get somebody's birthday just putting out a landing page and be like, give me your birth date. Yeah, what are you trying to steal my information? Like, that's not going to happen. But when you look at I'll give you one of my weaknesses. Wendy's. Wendy's has good branding, just like McDonald's, just like Burger King. When I see a Wendy's ad, I don't go, I'm going to go get a Wendy's burger. I think that because I was already thinking about Wendy's because I was hungry. I was like, man, I kind of love a Wendy's burger. And then the ad hits and you're like, going to Wendy's.
Yep.
And that's how it works. So when we think about that, it's about the brand itself. You know, when somebody comes in, you hand them branded material. I love what the coding companies try to do for us. I do. I'm not trying to say I don't love the handouts and things and the materials that they give you. But what every business owner should be doing is taking those materials, looking at them, improving them, and making their own. I have my own warranty cards. I have my own handouts. I have my own pricing material. I got all the G Technique stuff. We recently switched over to Ultra because, well, we'll leave that out. We recently made a switch, and the branding stuff they have is just amazing. But the problem with that is I'm handing them a bunch of red stuff. My colors are blue and green, man. Like, that don't fly with me. I don't want red anywhere in my shop. I hate the color red. Red is ugly to me. We picked blue and green because blue is my favorite color and green is Andrew's favorite color. So we're looking at that material now and we're going, okay, how can we design these for ourselves? And we reach out to Dave Christian, who's phenomenal at design work, and go, hey, dude, we need extra stuff in our repertoire. And when you look at all that I have, I now have a leather care trifold. I have a handout that gives you 5 instructions on how to maintain your coating. I have our ceramic coating trifold. I have our detail trifold. And we're going to work on educational trifolds too. So like when you come into the store and you're like, hey, how do you get sap off of a vehicle? Here you go. And just hand them a handout that has a scannable QR code that takes you to a video to my social media platforms and explains exactly what's on that handout. So we're hitting them with branding all over the place. And then my ad hits and they're like, oh, that guy, he's helped me a bunch. Let's support his business. That's why that happens. It's look at Walmart. Walmart's marketing to, they are not marketing to us. They've already got us.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone who shops at Walmart knows that we shop there because they have everyday low prices.
Yeah. And then like, I'm going to say back into, like, that's why I encourage a lot of detailers to start investing into making TikTok content, start making YouTube content. That's a big part of branding itself. People want to see who you are, what you're doing, why they should go to you, building that authority in your area with everything. This is why I'm like, we're in here to try to, grow our brand and try to help provide as much value as we can to detailers. We want to start investing into YouTube, into TikTok itself, the content, just because people want to see social proof. People want to see who you are and what your brand is.
Yep. Social proof is huge. It's required nowadays. Another 10 years, if you're not good at social media, your business will be closed. I've been saying this for years since I started our business. And I learned the hard way, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't believe in social media. I didn't even have a Facebook when I was working for Best Tire Center. And when I got hired, they paid me well. And they said, you're going to do the marketing. And I was like, okay, cool. Because I'm good at marketing. I love marketing. And at the time I was using Valpak newspaper ads, Yellow Book. Yeah, I'm dating myself. I'm a little bit old. And they said, you can't use any of that. The only
Mhm.
thing you can use is Facebook, OfferUp, and Craigslist. I was like, honestly, I said, F you, that's not going to work. Let me do what I know is going to work. And they said, no,
Mhm.
this is what you're going to do. So I literally, I set out to spend their money. I wanted to spend as much as I could to show them what they wanted. Didn't work. And it completely backfired. I put some stuff on Facebook and Facebook Marketplace. This was back when Marketplace was actually useful. It's not really anymore.
Mhm.
Um, and we started getting slammed. You know, of the 7 stores that opened, we were doing, I think our last month that I worked there, we did like $73,000, and which isn't a lot for a tire store, but we were ramping up. That was our 3rd month open, and the store closest to me was at 22,000. So just to show you the social proof of what Facebook can do for you, that's what happened. And I sat down and was like, I wanted to say sorry. I kind of spazzed on you. I still think that I can market better with other means, because at the time Valpak was still working really well.
Mhm.
But obviously social media works. And the
Yeah.
irony of that whole story, I long story short, I got fired because one of my technicians had an accident and it was my day off. And I think I got fired for different reasons. I had a meeting with the owner about a week and a half prior, and he found out I was gay, and he was just totally weirded out by it. Like, literally ended the meeting shortly after, and repeated several times, like, "You're talking about your wife, right?" I said, "No, husband." "Wife, right?" "No, husband." "Wife, right?" "No." I'm like, what is going on here? Are we stuck in a parallel universe? And then the ended the meeting. So I think that's why I got fired. But anyway, because of that bitterness, I took everything
Mhm.
with me. My
Yeah.
profile, Jonathan Tire, that I made, is now my profile. And that's how I started Dirty to Dreamy. Everyone was already following me for tires. We just shifted the marketing and what we were putting out there, and boom, we were busy right off the bat. And our first year I was doing 100K.
Mhm.
Second year we reached 200K. So social media and social proof, it's a must. It's an absolute
Yeah.
must.
We live in a golden age right now of advertising, because in the past, it's just so easy for us to go and make free ad. When by free ads, I mean just making content, throwing up on TikTok, Reels, YouTube. That's all free marketing. You know, we
Yep.
also live like when it comes to that, like advertising itself, like paid advertising. You can throw $10 at Google. You can throw $10 at Facebook. You can instantly be competing with whoever you want. I can go up right now and go against Coca-Cola with a beverage company. Like there's
Yep.
nowhere else you can do that. There's no other time period you can do that. So we truly live in the golden age of, you know, marketing and advertising as a whole.
I made $105,000 off of TikTok last year. Now, mind you, that wasn't net profit. We were selling products and we were learning, and there was a lot of costs incurred in scaling that. So I reinvested most of it. I only pulled about a $6,000 net profit. But that just goes to show you, if you can make $105,000 off TikTok, and that was barely trying. You know, we had 56,000 followers. Eventually, that page ended up shadow banned for some reason. Somebody reported a bunch of videos or something. But I started a new page recently, 67 days ago, and we're almost at 17,000 followers already. I've
Mhm.
already made over $2,000 off of TikTok, and I've got people that are local that are commenting things because I share who we are. That's another piece
Yeah.
that y'all really should be putting out there. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? Not oh, I make the shiniest cars. No one gives a crap about that, because that's what everybody's competing against. But when you put yourself out there as, I'm the guy that helps the communities, I'm Santa. Seriously. People come into the store and they're like, look, it's the Santa detailer. Because I've been doing Santa every year for 3 years now, and we raise money for the food banks. And that's the client I want. My target client is somebody who cares about people. Obviously, they need to have money too, but small business owner and cares about people are like my targets. So we put that out there in our TikToks. And when people see, oh, you're local, holy crap, I want to swing by and shake your hand. They
Mhm.
come by, shake my hand, and it turns into money, because they come to meet me. They see, oh, I might want to take advantage of these services. They see our maintenance programs. They're like, done deal. So it's really huge to put out who you are, especially when it comes to apps like TikTok, because it
Mhm.
will connect to the right people.
It's almost like you almost become like an internet celebrity almost to them. They're like starstruck. Like, oh, this person's only 5 minutes down the road. I can meet that person online. Oh, that's so cool. I
Yep.
want to go and check it all out. This is the person. This is the shop I see on video. That's so cool. I'm gonna go check it out in real person. So
I will never forget. I started doing TikTok as like, well, let's see where this goes. And I made a video. I had set a goal that I needed to do 3 to 5 videos per day. And I'm sitting at my desk. It was like 3:30, and I'm like, I haven't done a video today. I got to get up and do something. So I literally, I'm not even kidding, I shit a video out. I just walked over to wheels, like, here's the wheel. This is how you clean the wheel. I made some funny noises, and the video within like 7 hours had reached 360,000 people. And that was the beginning of the scaling of that page. That page quickly got to that 50,000 followers. UPS guy is driving by our shop. I'm not even kidding, like pumps the brakes, the whole truck squeaks, and we're all like, what's going on? Did this guy just crash into somebody? He jumps out and he runs in. And he's like, I can't stay long, but I just wanted to shake your hand real quick. You're that guy on TikTok, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's nice to meet. Like, I was freaked out. I didn't make the connection right away. And then he left, and I was like, dude thinks I'm a celebrity. All because I have a bunch of followers on TikTok. And it happens for Facebook too. We used to show up mobile, and people would see me get out of the van, and they're like, we got the guy. I'm like, well, you're always going to get the guy, because I do everything. I do the marketing, the detail work, the mobile work. Like, yeah, you got the guy because that's all I do. I'm not a celebrity. Yeah, you are. We watch all your videos. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, when we were mobile, we ran ads too. We show up at someone's shop and like, wait, the owner came out to my house and is doing my car right now. I'm like, that's what happens. I mean, we're small business. It's just me and a couple of friends, but yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
They just think you're a celebrity, because you have to realize that despite the fact how many people are online and how many people are doing videos, most of America and most people in the world aren't doing it because they're scared. And that fear is what creates that celebrity. He's doing something that I would never do. And that falls in line with being a business owner too. When you're a business owner, of course, there's people out there they're going to hate. There's always going to be those people. But there's a lot of people that respect you just because you put your name on that dotted line and you opened a business. And that comes with a responsibility. And that responsibility is to be someone with integrity, somebody that's honest, somebody that has character, and somebody that works within the communities to make the place a better place. That's what creates a long-term business. You look at a place like Walmart. Yeah, now it's a heaping pile of steaming crap. Honestly, Sam Walton would probably roll over in his grave.
Yeah.
But I worked for Walmart in the 90s. They have great options. They have stock options. They have Walmart University. You can go to Walmart. You can go to their training, and you can become a manager somewhere else, making $150,000, $200,000 a year. And the company itself was built on character. Back when Sam Walton and Harvey Firestone used to get together. If you guys haven't ever read these stories, you really should, because that's how businesses scale. Back then, they cared about people. That's what it was. And it scaled to the point where it's gotten big. And unfortunately, when things get big, stuff happens that causes you to make certain decisions that create a corporate feel in a business. And me and Andrew have been talking about this a lot lately. There's certain things that happen in a business that you're just like, I don't understand why people do this. I have to install something that stops them from doing that. And those things end up black and white when they shouldn't be. They should be gray, but that's because of human error. We got guys, I've been trying to get people to show up 30 minutes early before we open for 6 months, because I'm trying to step out, and I need to know somebody's going to be there in case a customer shows up early. I want the store open and ready by 8:30. We don't technically open till 9. I'm sitting in my office today. I'm usually not at the store, but I'm sitting in the office today. It's 8:59, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand. And that's one of those things that eventually, if these guys don't get a hold of it, I'm going to have to say, you get 3 strikes and you're fired. That's just the way it happens. And that's what happened to Walmart. So enjoy it while it's small, because once it gets big, you've got to put some of these things in, because the place has to make money. There's 7 people that need a paycheck. So I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but there you go.
That was immensely valuable. So we're all appreciative of that tangent, but we're almost an hour into this, so I think it was a good time to start wrapping everything up. But like, as a summary and a synopsis, email market your current clients, take care of them, increase your value, go all in on ads, invest now while things are cheap, and take the market share.
Yes. And I would add to that, go have fun. Go hang
yeah.
out and rub shoulders with these people. These people hang out at yacht clubs. They go golfing a lot. The shooting ranges, like, go rub shoulders with the people that are your target clients, and get in their heads, understand where they are, why they're there, and what they're doing, and then you market to that.
Yeah, people buy from people, not from businesses. So that's immensely helpful.
Yep.
All right. So I think it's a good point to end everything. And I just want to thank you for your time today. And
Of
I
course.
know it lasted a little longer than scheduled, but I know you've had a pretty busy week being hands on with everything. So definitely thank you for your help. Thank you for all your words, your lessons, your wisdom, and all your experiences, whether it's up and down. We're all
My,
appreciative of it.
my pleasure, man. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you so much.